Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel. So in the previous video we talked about a school management software which is totally free and the name of the software is Schooldeeds. So we talked about the principal user in the previous video. Now we are going to talk about the accounts user. So I have set up a demo account for that. Let's log into that account and see what the features are. So here once we sign in, we see the dashboard. The logo of school will be displayed here, and here will be the name of the user who is going to manage the accounts user. So first functionality that we have is monthly fee. So the first thing that we see here is a sign fee. When we click on the tab, we see a list of classes. So this is a list of classes which are assigned by the principal to the school. The sections which are also approved or assigned by the principal. And here we see the fees for every particular class. So the role of the accounts user is to set the fees for class. Let's say you want to change a class fee, you can do it from here, right? So as we can see that status, there are two types of different statuses. One is pending and the other one is approved. So pending is when we change or when we assign a new fee, the fee is sent to principal for approval. So once the principal approves the fee for that particular class, it is categorized as approved. Now let's talk about books charges. So books charges are the charges that are to be collected from the students for providing them books. So this the books that we see here are maintained by the bookkeeper user, which we are going to talk about in a separate video. The role of accounts user here is to maintain the charges that the school is liable to collect from the students for the books that they are issuing to the students. As we can see, there are various number of books with respect to class and subjects which are mentioned here and the charges as well. From here, using this button, we can also change the charges. Like I want to change from 200 to 300, so I'll just type in 300, say OK, and the charges are set to 300. Sorry. So yeah, 300 and OK, the charges are set to 300. Similarly, it will be for all other books. So let's talk about the expenses tab. Here, accounts user can maintain the expenses on day-to-day basis, mentioning the reason for the expense, amount, and date. So the search functionality, you can either search expenses by date. So if you want to search the expenses for 15th of October or 15th of any month, you'll just need to type 15 and it will start sorting according to that. If you want to check according to a particular reason, so let's say I'll type in computer repair. So you can see computer repair, computer services, etc. Now let's talk about the bus charges. In bus charges, similarly as we talked about in book charges, in bus charges, the transport user or they will maintain the routes, the different routes that the school is providing their transport services to. And the role of accounts user here is to maintain the charges. Like let's for example see that okay, the bus goes to BRS Nagar and the charges for that are 300. So if we want to add or change the charges, we can just simply type 500 here, say OK, and the charges are now set to 500. So this is these are the routes which have to be defined by the transport user. So there are just a few predefined routes. There can be many more. Talking about the banking tab, here we can see the deposits that are made to the various bank accounts, and in the bottom we can see all accounts, the accounts that school has opened with the different types of banks, like let's say Axis, SP, etc. Right? So in the top, we see two options, add new bank and add deposit amount. So if we click on add new bank, we can add another bank account which is not yet added, or if we are doing it for the first time, this is how we can add a new bank account. And then we see add deposit amount. When we click on this, we see the amount that has deposited. Let's say we have deposited 10,000 rupee. Date and time of deposit, let's say we have deposited on 7th of October. So yes, we can deposit in backdate also. We can create an entry of backdate also. So let's say 7th of October, and in which bank we have deposited, we can select from your State Bank of India whatsoever, and then we can just click submit. And after we click submit, it will show the record in this list. So this makes the job easier. You don't need to make a copy, or you don't need to collect the receipts, the deposit receipts. You can easily check everything from here. Similar search functionality here, that by amount or by date or by bank account. And so let's talk about dress charges. So we know that there are some schools that provide dresses to the students, and they charge a particular amount for those dresses. So from here we can select the class for which we want to maintain the charges. Let's say for second class, for male students or for female students, charges for that particular dress 200, 400, whatsoever the amount. And then once we click on add dresses, we'll see the amount in this list. Now let's talk about admission fees. So in admission fee, the user can select the year for which he is going to collect the admission fee, starting from current year and going to the future years, for if the parents want to pay in advance, or if there is a criteria by a school that okay, you have to pay for 3 years or for 4 years. So we can simply classify using that, okay, that for this year we are going to collect the admission fee. Then for similarly, let's say we have selected the year from 21 to 22, then we can select the class UKG, LKG, selecting the medium, and then the amount of fees that has been collected. From here, we can also edit the details that we have input. Like we can change the amount that was deposited from 100 or to 200, whatsoever we want to change it to. So if I say OK, so it will be changed to 200. Exam fee. So there are some schools which like to collect exam fee before the exams. This tab is important for those schools. So here we can select the class for which we are going to collect the exam fee. Let's say seventh class, and then we can also type in the fee that okay, we are about to collect 200 for seventh class exams. So if I see add, so as we see that okay, the same class was already added, so we cannot add it again. All we can do is we can just edit the fees. So we can change it from 200 to 100 or 1000, whichever way we wish to. So as we can see, the amount has changed to 100. Add new certificate. So this functionality is useful for accounts user because schools withhold the certificate of students who have not cleared their dues yet. So accounts user can easily check which student has not cleared their dues and can withhold the certificate of particular student. So if let's see that okay, this particular student from this class, this medium section, and this certificate month. So his certificate has been uploaded. So if you want to make any changes, you can just click on the edit tab. Like if you want to update a new certificate, or if you have updated a wrong certificate, then you can change. Or if you want to remove that certificate from for the student, you can delete that certificate, and the student will not be able to see that certificate in his ID or in his account. So let's talk about Ledger, which is the major functionality of this user. Here we can see two tabs, total fees collection and transport fees collection for the current month, that is October. As we know that most of schools like to outsource their transportation, so this is useful for the school to segregate their charges that they are collecting for fees purposes and for transport purposes. You can also export this data in CSV PDF formats, depending upon which data you want to export. Let's say I want to export the data for 20th of October. So you just need to type here 20 October, and then you will see the data for 20th of October. So as there is only one entry, you can also check that if there is any collections or not. As we can see that here is everything is zero, so obviously there has been no collection. Otherwise there would have been some amount, and then we could have exported it using the PDF button easily. So as you see, I clicked on the PDF and it already went to downloads. So this is how you can easily export your data into PDF or CSV format. Staff attendance. So this is a very useful feature for accounts user because it gives them an overview of every staff member, their attendance, their salary, and how to calculate their incurred salary depending upon the days they have attended. So as we see that, okay, let's talk about this particular data. Total number of days in month, we can see the attendance taken for days, and then we can see total number of Sundays in that particular month. We can see that the staff has attended for 16 days, 0 days she has been absent, and she has taken 1 half day. So this makes it easier for the accounts user to calculate the salary. So this was all about the accounts user. And talking about the profile, if we click on my profile here, the accounts user can edit the various details of their profile, like their profile picture, their name, etc. etc. So this was all about the accounts user. We hope you liked our video. The links to our previous videos are mentioned into the bio, and our videos are also available in Hindi. So you can go to our channel and watch those videos in Hindi, or you can just simply click on the links given below and watch the same video in Hindi as well. Thanks for watching.